Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. This time, talking about, well, let's do some more main range fun, shall we? I think so. Silurian candidate. Perhaps the best play on words you're going to get this side of, well, any Doctor Who story. It's just a great tale. Something I know I'll be coming back to. Now, I like the Silurians. I like the Sea Devils, but which is best? There's only one way to find out. No, sorry, that's a different gag for a different time. The Silurians are a brilliant creation. They were here first. And the Doctor, being an alien, an outsider, and someone with a bit of guilt related to this sort of thing, well, he's got some bills to pay. And the Seventh Doctor was when he was sorting things out, putting his world back in order, paying off some of the debts that he'd racked up emotionally speaking. And of course, messing with time, trying to fix things. This is a development that happened after Mel left, and the change in the Doctor is definitely dealt with here. You almost get, and God forgive me for saying this out loud, character development. I know, character development, who would have thought it? But it's here, and you can see it. You can see it happening in front of you. It's marvellous. It's a fairly simple idea. The Doctor wants to put things right. The actual nature of putting things right, well, that's part of the storyline. Of course, it's set rather marvellously 1 whole year after Warriors of the Deep. Notice how I didn't call it Warriors on the Cheap, because it wasn't cheap. I have massive respect and love for that story. Yes, there should have been another way, and you know what? Now there is. This is it. This is the other way. This is what should have come afterwards. It works. Oh, how it works. And yes, everyone and their dog is saying the same thing. There is a certain character, in this case an Australian, who is a political leader, who is arrogant, pointless businessman, who's all bluff and nonsense, and reminds everyone of a certain person in charge of America at the moment. But it's distant enough for us not to have an interference with the storyline. Although when somebody says, go on, touch it, give it a tug, you know you want to, when he's talking about his hair being real, no one in the whole world gets not to laugh. You see, the Manchurian candidate, about a hypnotised person who's running for office, and I don't want to give you spoilers on either of those adaptations. Angela Lansbury's so good. Yes, I do prefer the original. They're great films. Manchurian, yeah, I know. And of course, you've got your 2 blocks of power. You've got your Eastern Bloc and your Western Bloc. Now, originally, back in 1984, when we were watching it as kids, we just assumed that the Western Bloc was Russia. But of course, now that China's on the rise, you can have it as China. It doesn't matter. People are still squabbling. A world government is very far away, and is it truly what's needed? Well, we can get back to you on that one. Do you want to destroy mankind? Well, we'll get back to you on that one as well. Seriously, we will. Right. Is it a great story? Undoubtedly. Will you be listening to this multiple times? I think so. If you like the Silurians, this works. If anything, the only thing I had an issue with was Nick Briggs's French accent. I know, the guy can act, the guy can write, the guy can direct. He's remarkably good. But it just came across as slightly sinister. More sinister. Perhaps it's a red herring. Perhaps it's just keeping his hand in. I just don't know. As an integral part of the character, the cast, it just works. Let it go. You know what? In a world full of whispering, hissing aliens and monsters and creatures, you're really going to let a French accent go, aren't you? I think so. It's rather churlish of me, and every time I say something like this, the chances of me ever working for Big Finish diminish by a tiny fraction. Or actually by probably a very large fraction. So, I'll let you listen to the trailer and let you get back to whatever you were doing and decide for yourself. So until next time, be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the Silurian Candidate.
Doctor, where are we going?
Somewhere else. That's where you usually go when you change course.
You won't get an answer. That's not who the Doctor is now. He's a lot more secretive.
Mature, China. There's just something I have to take care of.
Please do not struggle.
You're a robot?
The correct term is security android.
Looks like a load of ruins.
Archaeologists have speculated that it was once a temple built before recorded time.
Who are you working for?
I'm sort of between employers. Quite a long way between, really.
Welcome to the world beneath the world, Ace.
Pretty tall were they, these Silurians?
What makes you think that, Ace?
Why else would they have made the ceiling so high?
That would have been to accommodate their pets.
Still, the Doctor persists in hampering our plans.
We must delay him.
We must destroy him.
You're not him, are you?
Bad Falco in the flesh, love.
He's there to hold talks with Director Shen of the Eastern Bloc.
You know, Professor, after all this time, I just still don't trust you.
Ace!
Someone's launched a missile at us.
That's a Silurian weapon.
Brace for impact!
All those who harm our people must die.
Big Finish. We love stories.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.